guys, welcome back. I know that today's upload is a little later than usual. It's been a hectic week, and I will get into that. So today I just want to talk about positivity. Everybody has their bad days or maybe even bad weeks, and that's okay. It's how you build up from that. It's how you come back from them. It's not how you fall down, it's how you get back up. I want to go over something that happened in my life recently and go from there. Now, I do want to give you a disclosure, just that I'm not trying to get your sympathy, not trying to get the attention for something that happened in my life. I just merely want to use it as an example. So we'll go from there. So this week, I had a couple things happen to me that really brought me down. And I know that can happen with a lot of people. In my instance, I had two major things happen, and it was like back to back, and I was like, what's happening? And I really felt defeated, but the main point is that I didn't let it keep me defeated. So let's start with the story and go from there. Okay, so to start the story off, there's a whole bunch of preface? I can't think of the word. Anyway, but I don't want to get into that because it's long. I'm going to get straight to the point. So this last week, I was getting ready to go to a concert on the 1st. So the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, I was going to be in Vegas with my mom and sister-in-law. I let my job know when I was at my interview that I wasn't going to be there that weekend and that Monday. And so I wanted to remind them it was Monday. I went into their office and I was like, hey, not gonna be here this weekend, going to a concert, so excited. And they're like, oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. Send an email. So I sent an email. I was like, cool, we're all good, ready. I let them know, I reminded them. They forgot, but that's okay because I reminded them. So then Friday comes along, and someone who I work with who does not like me, didn't like me from the beginning, was like, hey, you want to work Saturday or Sunday? And I was like, actually I can't, I'm so sorry. And he's like, well, it's mandatory. And I was like, again, sorry, can't. I already let the boss know. He goes, it's mandatory, you have to come in. And I was like, no, I don't. And then it was just like this back and forth, and I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever. And that was Friday. That was on a Friday. I go to my boss's office, and I was like, hey, we talked on Monday, you remember? And they're like, oh my gosh, we totally forgot. How? Don't you write this stuff down? Don't you have like a calendar? You're supposed to, like, especially as a manager, there's so much happening that you have to like keep things in order. Well, on top of them forgetting, because they forgot, they brought someone in to officially train me for my department on Saturday. And I was like, okay, well, can't be here this weekend, spent $200 on plane tickets, and also my mom spent a lot on that concert ticket, and I was not going to drop that, especially given that I had given notice, especially my interview. And they're like, no, it's going to be okay, we're going to train someone else, and they're going to train you. Mind you, I'd been in my department for about 2 months and been alone in my department and was the only one who knew what I was doing. Even the head bosses didn't know how to run my department. So I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. It's gonna be okay. The least of it, she's there when I'm sick. She's gonna know how to run my department. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Tuesday comes along when I come back to work. I go and drop my food off in the fridge just like usual. Then I walk over to my desk. The lady who was being trained was sitting in my desk, and I was like, you know what? She's probably just here to train me. It's gonna be okay. Whatever. Well, everything was not okay, because she proceeds to tell me, actually, I'm the admin now. That was my title, receiving admin. She's like, actually, I'm the admin now, and you're going to be QC. What? No. You were being trained to train me. I'm sorry for the mishap. That's just what was happening. She's like, no, the head boss came up to me and told me I have this position now. What? I didn't get an email. I didn't get called. The bosses didn't know if they were coming in. Nothing. None of the head bosses were there. None of the bosses. No one in charge was in that building. So I go back to that department, try not to cry my life away, and wait till one of the bosses come in. So my boss came in, go up to him and I ask him, and he goes, no, you're the admin. She's just the lead. That's what happened. And I was like, perfect. I see the issue. She just messed up. Yay! We're all back to normal. Go up to her and she's like, no. I want to wait till the head boss comes in because he told me. And I was like, okay, that's cool. It's cool with me. It's fine. Whatever. So then the head boss comes in. I spent all day trying to get his attention, trying to ask him. He ignored me. Then at one point during the day, he brought our robot people over because we had robots coming in to pick our items, and went up to her and said, hey, this is the new person you're going to talk to. Mind you, he still hadn't come up to talk to me about my demotion. Because that's what it was. It was a demotion. And he went up to her right in front of me, before even talking to me. What a great way to tell your employee she's being demoted. So, I tried not to cry. I kept my cool. Again, waited for him, even went up to him twice saying, hey, did you forget? He's like, no, talk to you later. I was like, okay. So finally, it was 30 minutes before we had to leave for the day. And then he finally pulls me over and he tells me, hey, you just got the bad end of the stick. We just need someone to run this department. And frankly, she's a mother, so she's more responsible and she's older. Hold up. First of all, that's discrimination. And second of all, how the heck do you know I'm not a mother? I could be a stepmom. I could be a mom for all I, My mom had a kid young. What makes you think that just because I don't talk about home at work doesn't mean I don't have what she has? What? And then he goes on to say, and plus she does a lot of overtime. I'm sorry, so do I. I would stay late. I would come in on weekends, maybe not as much as her, but I would come in. I would come in and do overtime. A lot. Even my dad would call and he's like, oh, I thought you were supposed to be off work. And I was like, could be. Still working. So, I spent the last half hour crying my life away. I applied to a whole bunch of jobs. And the next day I still planned on going over to work. Didn't end up happening. Went over to my parents. Then on my way home from my parents, my clutch gave out on my car. Completely went out. Did not work. Couldn't move. Was stuck. Spent the next 2 hours trying to get it over to a mechanic. My parents picked me up. At that point, 2 very bad things happened to me within 2 days. Got a demotion, and then my car stopped working. I didn't have $800 in my bank account. And at that point, that's when things started going a little bit better. So that was to preface, still don't know that word, gosh dang it. Negative things are going to happen in your life. They just are. And they're sometimes going to hit you one after another. But let me express this, don't let it get you down. It is how you get yourself back up from that moment on what really matters. I didn't sit there and drown in my sorrows. I wasn't completely depressed, and I know it's easier said than done. But, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest things you could do is build yourself back up immediately or as soon as possible when that negative thing happens, okay? I looked for a job, and guess what? I have a job. I got it 2 days after I started looking for that job, and I start on Monday. My parents were gracious enough, both sets of parents were gracious enough to help me pay for my car. That's not going to be the same for everyone. Not everybody's parents are going to be willing to help. But that's just to say, Positive things can happen. Don't drown in your sorrows, because if you do, it's going to bring everything else down. Negative thoughts will bring negativity. One of the biggest things once that some parents used to say when I was younger is positive mental attitude. And they would yell, PMA, when we were being negative. PMA, PMA, be positive. And then if we were being negative, sometimes they'd be NMA, NMA. Just reminding you, don't bring that negative attitude with you, because it's only going to create negativity. One of the biggest things a teacher once told me was, your brain's stupid. No, I know that sounds silly, but let me finish. Your brain is stupid. On a daily level or a daily thing, you could be like, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm so ugly, I hate this, I hate that, I hate the way my living room looks, I hate this house, I hate this kitchen, and it builds, and you start to believe that. It could be as simple as a kitchen, it could be as big as I find myself ugly, I'm repulsive, I'm disgusting, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, blah, blah, blah. But if you just switch that around and you start saying, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I can do a lot, my kitchen's awesome, at least I have a kitchen, at least I have a house. If you tell yourself those things every single day, you're going to trick your mind into that positive state. That's what happens. Positivity, it grows, and you can trick your mind into feeling positive. Of course, if you need help, please get help. That's not always going to work. It's just not. But for some things, it will. Like feeling like you're ugly. If you look at yourself in the mirror every single day, there has been studies that show you can trick yourself into feeling beautiful. You can remind yourself you are beautiful. We can't dwell on that negativity. It's just going to bring that negativity to you. We don't want that. You have to remember, there's always going to be someone looking at you. You're looking at someone. They're looking at someone else to show what is strong, what is strength, what should I be doing. Like, there's always going to be someone. Like people in movies, movie stars, singers, all those people, a lot of people look up to them. So when negative things happen, they have to bounce back from that. And yes, that can be strenuous, but you can't dwell on the negativity. Someone who didn't win an Oscars isn't going to be depressed every single, prove yourself. Work harder the next time. Prove that you deserve that, because that's the only way to get by in life. If you dwell on that negativity, you're just going to be in this slump, depressed. I've been there, and that's not somewhere where you want to be in. One of the biggest things is just be positive. You're not going to get anywhere. No one's going to be around a negative Nancy. You want to be that positivity for everyone around you and create that positivity, but don't forget to make sure you're happy as well. You want to be happy from your mind to your heart to your soul, and fill yourself with that happiness. Don't let the negativity drown you. And I just want to remind you that. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of this week, and I hope this resonates with you, and I hope you guys continue with this week and remind yourself that you are important, you are amazing. Bounce back from that negative thing that's happening in your world, because everything is going to be okay. I'm sure of it. Thank you so much for listening in, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye!